Hello, this is Ruth Ann McKinnon. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a straight up review of a single fragrance. This is a gift that I received from my husband while we were traveling earlier this year. We were in France. So I'm just going to show you the bottle. And this is by Fragonard. You can see the title there. And this is Fleur d'Oranger Intense, or Orange Flower Intense. You can see that. I don't know if I can make it so you can see that here. All right, so this is a smaller bottle. This is a 50 ml. And this, we ended up, this is gonna be a little wordy. So if you don't wanna hear any kind of story, because there is a story behind this fragrance, then you may want to just scroll away from this video. I'm not going to be too long-winded. I'm going to try to keep it under control. Anyway, we were traveling to Vienna, and we were connecting at Charles de Gaulle, and we got stranded there. We missed a connection through no fault of our own, but we had to wait there nearly 12 hours. This is after a red-eye. So we red-eyed from the US to Charles de Gaulle. We got there exhausted. Got a little bit of sleep on the plane, not much. And then we were in the international part of the airport trying to, and then we had to wait 12 hours to connect. So, but they have this enormous, the biggest duty-free shop that I've ever seen. And man, do they sell perfumes. They had like a wall of perfumes. I was in heaven. So I would nap, I'd get up, I'd go smell perfumes. I'd nap, get up, go smell perfumes. Anyway, they had a huge, like I said, wall, and then apart from the wall, they had a smaller display, Fragonard, and I've heard of them, and I think I maybe have owned a couple of other fragrances by this house, and they're out of Grasse, France, and I sniffed through several of them, and I really fell in love with this Orange Blossom perfume. Now I'm going to tell you why I love Orange Blossom. I'm going to make this short and sweet. When I was about 13, my family and I took a family vacation to Florida. This was my very first airline flight. I was in 6th grade. I was 11 or 12. Did I say 13? Somewhere in there. Anyway, we ended up going in January. We left our home during a snowstorm. And then we landed there, and it was t-shirt weather, and I was blown away that you could be on a flight for 2-3 hours and have such an enormous change in weather. And we were in Orlando, Florida. We stayed with relatives, and at that time in Florida, so this would have been 1978, 1979. They still had all the orange orchards. Florida was where America got most of their oranges from. And a few years later, they had a big frost that came and killed off most of their orange groves. So this is before that happened. And the minute we got off the flight, there was a smell of orange blossom in the air. And they were blooming, and the smell was everywhere. And I want to say we were there a week, and all I could smell was orange blossoms. And it was so beautiful. I had never smelled anything like that before. I was absolutely intoxicated with the scent of orange blossoms. And as we were leaving Florida, my mother bought me a bottle of orange blossom perfume. And this was really cheap, and it didn't last very long. It was in a little dauber bottle. I would put it on, the smell would be gone the minute it dried. But I could at least open the bottle and still smell it. But of course that dried up after a little while, and I have never since in my life found something that smells as close to that smell of the fresh orange blossoms in the air until I found this. Okay, so this comes in two versions, EDT and EDP. This is the EDP, which is of course why it's got the Intense label on it, because I felt like this was a more natural. The EDT was beautiful, but this one smells more real. All right, because this is such a lovely fragrance, I can't tell you, I was almost hyperventilating when I found it. And I said to my husband, I need you to buy this for me. I want it. If you never buy me another perfume, which of course would never happen because this is me we're talking about, this would be the one I want. And so he dutifully got up and bought it for me right away. This fragrance was released by Fragonard in 2016. And if you look on the Fragrantica page, it'll say 2 notes, white floral and citrus. But the official notes are top, orange blossom and white flowers. Mid notes are jasmine, bergamot, and mandarin orange, base, sandalwood, and musk. Now the sandalwood and musk I don't pick up until deep in the dry down, and that is really more, I think, to give longevity. The EDT is more like fresh orange blossoms with honey. It's very sweet and honey-like. This one does not have that honey-like sweetness. It's more, like I said, it's more natural. It smells exactly like you are by an orange blossom tree on a warm summer day and you're smelling the breeze, exactly like how I smelled it back in 1979 or 78 when I was in Florida, and I went absolutely crazy for this fragrance. The words I would use to describe it are natural. It has a very robust fragrance. It's not at all indolic. It does not smell animalic. It doesn't smell human at all. It smells like the pure flower. It's very bright, warm, breezy. I've heard some people describe orange blossom as being cold. I have no idea what you're talking about, what these people are talking about. There's nothing cold. Maybe that is an artificial orange blossom, but this one is the real deal. And there's nothing cold about orange blossom. This is warm, beautiful, think tropical almost. It smells like Florida in the late 70s. It's sunshine, summer to me. It reminds me of going to Disney World back when it was still innocent and it was still cheap. It's just absolutely amazing. It also has, in the dry down, as I'm wearing it, and I've really given it some good testing, I'd say there's a touch of fine French milled soap in there, but that only makes it classier. This is not a soapy fragrance. It's just it almost just has a touch of that, in my opinion. It lasts 6 hours on skin, not just on clothing, but on skin. So this is a real high quality, long lasting fragrance. And I would say deeper down into the dry down, you get a bit of a musky sandalwood, but that is still mixed with the orange blossom. The orange blossom itself never goes away. Even though I had listed the note of orange, actually mandarin orange, I don't know, isn't it strange? I don't really pick that up. To me, it really is the orange blossom, the flower itself. So I'm not going to go on and on about it, other than I could tell you more about how much I love it, but I'm not going to bore you. You're here because you want to hear about the perfume, not about my experiences with the flowers. But what I am going to tell you is that if you love orange blossom, the real deal off the tree, you need to get your hands on this perfume because it's perfect. It is perfection. Now, like I said, I live in a cold climate. I don't have orange trees around me that I can smell orange blossoms, but I was there and I remember, and this is the real deal. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you, in the comments, if you have tried this perfume, if you own it, and what you think of it. And if you think the same way I do, I would appreciate hearing that. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.